There is something in the universe right now eating an entire star every single day. Not a star over millions of years. Not slowly. One sun per day. Gone. And that is not even the most terrifying thing about it. By the end of this video, I'm going to tell you something about what astronomers found inside this black hole's light. Something so unexpected, it made scientists recheck their own data 3 times. Stay until the very end, because that discovery changes how we think about the early universe. What you're looking at is a quasar, a blazing cosmic engine powered by the most extreme black hole ever recorded. And the things it has taught us? Nothing short of extraordinary. Welcome to Cosmic Story Lab. This one is gonna rearrange your brain. Quick note before we go further. Everything in this video comes from peer-reviewed research and verified sources, including NASA, ESA, and the European Southern Observatory. Science is always evolving, and if anything here ever gets updated, I genuinely want to know. We try our best to get it right.
Let's start with the basics. And by basics, I mean something that will immediately break your understanding of scale.
The black hole powering quasar J0529-4351 has a mass estimated at around 17 to 19 billion times the mass of our Sun. According to research published in Nature Astronomy, its accretion disk, the glowing ring of material spiraling inward, shines roughly 500 trillion times brighter than the Sun. 500 trillion.
To put that differently, if you replaced our Sun with this quasar, every planet in the solar system would evaporate. Not eventually. Immediately. But here is where it stops being just big and starts being strange. Standard models of black hole formation say a black hole cannot grow this fast. There simply hasn't been enough time in the universe for something to reach this size through normal feeding. According to ESA researchers studying the object, this black hole is consuming the equivalent of 1 solar mass every single day, a rate so extreme that our models of how black holes grow need serious revision.
So how did it get this massive? That question is still wide open. And honestly, that's what makes it so fascinating.
Now here is where things get genuinely strange. When astronomers trained the Very Large Telescope in Chile on this quasar, they weren't just measuring how bright it was. They were reading the fingerprints in its light, a technique called spectroscopy. And buried in that light was a chemical signature no one expected to find in an object this ancient.
The light showed iron, enormous quantities of iron.
Iron is not primordial. It is forged inside stars over billions of years and scattered by supernovae. The fact that this quasar, shining from an era when the universe was only a fraction of its current age, already contained this much processed stellar material means an entire generation of massive stars had already lived, died, and exploded before this black hole lit up. Think about that. We are seeing the aftermath of a stellar generation we never directly observed. The black hole is essentially a monument to a civilization of stars that rose and fell. before we were even a possibility. Before I get to the discovery that made scientists recheck everything, if any of this is bending your brain, hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second and it genuinely helps this channel reach more curious minds. All right, here we go. Here is what I promised you at the start. When scientists modeled the accretion disk of J0529-4351 using the latest data, they found something quietly shocking. The disk itself is so large and so luminous that it had been sitting in survey data for decades, and every automated system had classified it as an ordinary star. Not a quasar. Not a black hole. A star. According to the ESO team, it took new AI-assisted analysis tools to flag it as something worth a second look. The most powerful black hole ever recorded was hiding in plain sight in archival data, because nothing in our catalogs was built to expect something quite this extreme. Which raises a question nobody has answered yet. How many others are hiding in the same data, waiting for a tool smart enough to notice them? So here is the answer I promised you at the start. What did scientists find inside this black hole's light that made them recheck their data? Iron. Ancient stellar iron. Evidence of an entire generation of stars that lived and died before we even had a universe that looked anything like ours. That is not just a discovery. That is a ghost story, written in light, reaching us across 10 billion years. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. That genuinely means something. If this made you see the universe a little differently, share it with one person who needs their mind expanded today. And subscribe if you haven't. We go somewhere new every single week. Next, you might want to watch something about what happens when two black holes collide. That one will genuinely keep you up at night. Now, your question for the comments. If the most extreme black hole we've ever found was hiding in plain sight for decades, what else do you think we've been looking at without realizing what it is?